Yo, here's my $1 trillion question for the day. At what point did the internet move from being just like something that could supplement our lives, like something that was there, like a library or any other bookstore or I don't know, a playground, like you could go to these places to literally being like at the core of our lives. Like my job, my workplace, work job that I do for like corporate stuff is predicated on internet. Like I need internet. If the internet goes out, no job, no work for that day. And it's like the first thing, like even now I'm just gonna speak to this phone. It's like the first thing I'm doing after I waking up because I had this like thought and I just felt like speaking it. Which is like fine. It's not necessarily like a terrible thing, but like at what point did life change so much to where like the internet is pretty much what we revolve around? And I say we, like, of course not everyone, and not even myself. Like I don't completely revolve around the internet, but like I love doing things that are physical. But it's just at some point, you know, you just gotta admit that without the internet, we wouldn't be doing so many things. Like some of us don't even have mobile phone plans, much less landlines, which like probably like four people have. I'm kidding, but like probably like four people under the age of 30 have a landline of their own. you know, like man, at what point did we like lose the ability to communicate without the internet? Because a lot of us just use voice over IP. And like we still have phones. I know I'm being slightly facetious here, but like it's wild how when I go to look something up, like do research, I don't step foot into a library, and if I do, it's so that I can get on the computer and do some research on the internet. Like it's not because I'm there for a book or an encyclopedia to flip through. Man, like what happens? Like our communities are on the internet too. Like a lot of us don't have physical real world communities where we like show up to events and show up to I don't know people's birthday parties and all this stuff. Like we have like friend groups. Some of us, a lot of us just have our friends online too. But our community, like the people who we relate to and who we like come to for support, are on the internet. And like it's like the internet is this extra dimension to our normal lives as opposed to like some place that we can go and visit. Like we have different worlds, or it's like a world where we have different places. Like Facebook is a whole a whole world, and then we all have our own like little lands, little cities and villages on something like Facebook, and then same for a lot of the other social media websites. And then we have like Google, and we have like different places where we can do research, Wikipedia, all these websites, and like each website is its own domain. Like literally, it's an extra dimension to the world we already have. It's not just some place we go, and I think that's wild. Like, at what point did it become at what point were we able to simply shift into this extra dimension? Um, right? Like, you used to have to go all the way home or go all the way to a library or go all the way somewhere physical in this like 3D world in order to access the internet, and like whatever limited resources that it provides. But now in our pockets, and some of us like on our freaking headphones that are plugged into our ears 24/7, that we can just tap and speak. We can ask questions and have access to a vast array of information. Some artificial intelligence is able to give us answers by pulling bits of information from literally all over the globe and even from space because a lot of stuff comes from space, and we can just this artificial intelligence can aggregate that information, distill it, and find what's relevant to the question you asked, and then provide a coherent sentence. And that's not like some like freaky future AI thing. That's right now with a lot of the AI assistants built into our mobile devices. We can just, hey, what's this? What's the answer to this question? And it doesn't just look at the first like result on Google and give us the answer. It literally uses it's a stretch to call it artificial intelligence, but honestly, what is and what isn't artificial intelligence? Anything that's artificial and intelligent, so like a robot with a remote control, that's AI. Like, it doesn't matter if you're the one controlling it. It's still AI because it knows how to do things based on the inputs it receives. So there's no hard line where it's like, okay, this is now artificially intelligent versus machine learning versus regular ones and zero robotics, binary programming robotics on off switches. So like we leverage artificial intelligence right now to give us answers to questions, and at some point we'll leverage it to also give us like answers to very, very complex problems that we're having. So like, at what point does this extra dimension move from being something that we shift into based on like looking at our phone or like asking a question to literally just thinking it? Like, neural chips are going to be a thing, and our minds are extra dimensional. At what point does it shift from us tapping into our minds and our own like personal intelligence to tapping into an artificial intelligence that is just able to give us the answers faster and more coherently and more informed than we ever could? That's gonna be wild. And like, I say that not in like a scary sense. That is amazing, but at the same time that is very very concerning, because I don't hear us really acknowledging these things. Like, the conversations I hear about AI are like, wow, this new thing is so cool, or this new thing is terrifying and it's gonna kill us all. Like, very few people I hear are actually like looking at what's going on. And I don't know what would I say. Very few people I see are looking at what's going on and appreciating it for what it is. A lot of us are like projecting our own fears and insecurities or our own like craving for something novel onto this thing called artificial intelligence. And I feel like it makes for like interesting conversation, but it's not really like the answers to the questions I'm looking for. Like, I really want to know, where are we going as a society in our like with our interactions with artificial intelligence, with our interactions with the internet, I should say. Like, this is not an AI conversation, just the internet being networked with people, because a lot of the philosophies built into the internet are how would I put it, are hacker philosophies. A lot of things are just open. Like, it's like free open source software that we just have, and that's built into the core of the internet. That's not like a bunch of like a sub community somewhere doing this free open source thing, and then they're just trying to like push it on to other people. That's built into the internet are free open source philosophies, open standards. You can look at them all you want, and but people don't really know about that. People only see the big corporations that are sitting on top of this thing called the internet, the infrastructure that our tax dollars paid for. So it's not even their infrastructure, but they just have the contracts and they're able to oligopolize on that. And it's not a true oligopoly, because there are other companies that are able to plug into the backbone of the internet. But how many people really know what the backbone even is? How many people are aware that there are these companies that are selling us access to our internet? Like the ones that, like, as a country is pretty much the same as any road or highway. Like, these are not private owned things. They just have contracts and they're able to sell us what we already have access to. Like, at what point did it go from these just being mere roads that we were able to plug into, and now it's like a private access club that we like that a portal opens up and we walk through, and now we're in this entirely new dimension separated from our initial reality, because there's a lot of us walking around in this 3D realm who are not connected to the 3D realm because we live, or they live, on the internet, and we all do it to some extent, unless you're just one of those people who live in like the bushes and you get like only like one satellite dish, and every now and then you beam out like, hey, doing all good, grandma, love you, bye, and then you just go about your business in the bushes. But like pretty much everyone lives, and I'm joking, I'm obviously being facetious, but pretty much everyone now lives to some extent on the internet. Like there's a portion of our mind that at any point will tap into, hey, I wonder what's going on the internet. I wonder what's going on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. I wonder if my favorite creator posted a thing. I wonder what I can share today. I wonder, oh, let me take this picture. And we're not taking this picture like, oh, this is going to be nice to admire later. We're taking this picture because we're about to post it on the internet. Like the internet is such a core part of our lives that our thoughts are so like controlled by the internet. And I don't mean this like, oh, we think about the internet a lot. Like controlled is in a lot of the things that we do are validated, or are done for validation from things on the internet. Like we want our friends to be able to see us on the internet doing cool things. We want to be able to take the picture in the right angle, so like the lighting shows that this was like a beautiful meal, like it's Instagram ready. And like, we often shy away from doing like this. It's like, oh, we ate really good, and showing our belly like hunched over the table, and like it's like fat as heck because we just ate like 4 servings. No, we're not going to show that. Usually we're going to show, oh, look at this Instagram ready meal, and then that's it.